All right. Welcome to the start of Siege 2019. We appreciate you all showing up today. Got a great keynote tonight, and so on and so forth. Yeah, I think I've done that joke 12 years now. So, welcome to our 12th Siege Town Hall. Grumble, 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 grumble. We have a number of things to go through today, but we always like to start with a retrospective. And once again, I'm living dangerous this year because I haven't seen the photos our photographers have put together. So I don't know what's coming next, but I did like to start with Culture Shock. Who played Culture Shock? You all took the 5 hours it took to play this game? All right, 5 seconds to play. Who was on yellow? Who was on orange? Who was on green? Who was on blue? Who was on red? Yes, the violent red team, first into combat, ended up winning. Goodness gracious. So yeah, that was interesting. I actually didn't think red was going to win because they were overlapping themselves so much. But I think it was that spur off the side there that took it for them. All right, let's take a look at some more of this year's Siege event. Let's see what we got here. Hey, who took part? Whoops, going around. Who took part in Indie Cluster this year? Very cool. Who played the Indie Cluster games? Excellent. Any good ones? Wait, no, they're all great. Thank you very much to the Indie Cluster. That's great. Who went to the Indie Cluster party? Yeah, so the application fees to be in the Indie Cluster fund the Indie Cluster party. So now you know where that money goes. Oh my goodness, there are a few people in the halls drinking Red Bull. Who had Red Bull this weekend? Yeah, who's having Red Bull now? Yes, there are still Red Bulls here. Drink them up, and we'll be taking them home as well. Thanks very much to Red Bull for having been this year's official energy drink sponsor. Yay! Jared did a great job with the hookup. Oh dear, lots of folks in panels. Wow, why are we getting a hiccup every time? Oh well. Who attended a panel? What was the best one? All at once. Well, oh, mine. Thank you very much. Yeah, we definitely. One thing that we've noticed, our audience has matured in their game dev skills. So we've been focusing more and more on a lot of mid-level skill development ones, the AI, et cetera, this year. Did people feel like there was a good mix of sessions for your interests? Did anyone feel like they were excluded? They weren't seeing anything that really spoke to them? I mean, please do say it if you did, because we want to include that in the future. All right. Yes. Speak into the mic so we record it for posterior. All right, posterity too.
I think there's a lot of great things. Oh, by the way, my name's Brian Davidson. Um, I think the one thing that really got me was the legal one because I don't see enough of it.
Well, that was this one. Isn't it interesting? The business and legal challenges, the boss battles one.
And we do have a hard time really understanding how to approach the legal side of game development.
Would people want like a legal 101? What are the basics of negotiation? What should be in a contract? That kind of thing. All right. If you've got a comment, you're gonna have to come up to the microphone because that's the kind of way it works.
Hey guys, I would really like to see more examples of current software that's being used for different things for those of us who are not in all of the different parts of game dev. So, for example, I'm an artist. I would like to see what the modelers are using right now.
Do you mean like
thing.
Maya?
Yeah,
Or
like exactly.
okay.
So what software is currently being used, and somebody to show you here's what I do with it, that kind of thing, so that we keep current with what we're not necessarily using at the moment.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Anyone else before we'll go on from sessions? We will have time for comments later on as well, but definitely appreciate the feedback. All right, lots of questions got asked. That was a good session. Let's shoot on through a few more of these quickly. Yay, good panelists. Man, we're getting a serious hiccup on this. All right, who played games here? There you go. Yeah, I'm going to point out this one in particular because and plus I played it, because I really love the idea of a board game about cybersecurity that was a lot of fun. So we did the hacking games with Shadowrun and all the rest back in the day, but this is a really fun, simple, complete game about cybersecurity. And I love that folks here at Siege are coming up with these sorts of games, board games or otherwise. All right, more of the indie cluster. Great stuff in indie cluster. Yeah, we had a guy selling comic books. Who bought a comic book this year? That's been a first. But I think it was a great example. He's got a lot of interest apparently just from demoing his portfolio this way. So that might be we'll figure out more ways to do that in the future. VR. Which VR? Who had a VR game here? Oh, that was all right. Very cool. Nice, nice, nice. Very cool. Yeah, a little less VR this year than last year, but it's definitely still a part. Oh, AR. That's something I wanted to ask about. We only had one AR session. Did people want more AR? That's something I've heard a few people talk about, but I think they didn't even know about the one we had. Who went to the AR session we had? Pardon? Yeah, mixed reality AR one. It's supposed to be mixed reality and AR. Okay. Should we have had more? Would people like to see more about AR? Okay. Our November meeting is going to be with a local mobile game lab that's working with Pokemon and others. So we'll see about making that happen. That'll be November 14th here in Atlanta. So we'll see about getting more of that happening. That's one comment I've been hearing. We didn't get enough of that. DreamHack. Anyone going to DreamHack? And I got to get our DreamHack passes to the winners of the Brawlhalla tournament. So make sure that whoever won that keeps following up with me. Now everyone's going to say, oh, we were the ones who did it. But yes, we do have passes to DreamHack for the winners of that tournament. Oh, speaking of winners, I don't think we have any photos of the game design improv. But is anyone from the Deja Vu team here? Team Deja Vu. I feel like I've said this before. Team Deja Vu. All right, all right. You were voted the winners of the Game Dev Improv, and I believe we have Siege T-shirts for you. So stick around. Let's get you some T-shirts. Yay, game tournaments. Oh my goodness, I'm hungry. Yeah, there's the bread VR. Yeah, that's making me hungry. We're skipping that slide. So I used to go to what was called Computer Game Developers Conference in the early 90s, from like 92 on. That turned into the Game Developers Conference in the mid 90s. One thing I loved about CGDC more than GDC was that the sessions were always just the start of the conversation. And after the session, you would go and talk with everyone in that room about whatever you had just been listening to or listening about. That's why we have these 30-minute blocks between sessions. That's why we have space outside for you to talk to. How many people took advantage of that? How many people had conversations that started in a session and bled on out of there? Excellent, excellent. Is that something you all still consider value? Because we could have another session each day if we just ran them back to back. All right. All right. Lots of folks going to the expo hall sessions. Great people all over the place. Folks who are hiring. So yeah, we had folks here hiring from PulseWorks. So I hope you saw them in the career fair. And Ron Williams is with the IGDA Atlanta chapter. So definitely reach out to them as well. All right. We have another set of photos. So let's see about that one. Whoops, that's not it.
Oh, geez.
Where was the second set of photos? Yay, Google.
Was it in a tab?
I thought I had it in a tab. I might have closed that tab.
It would be a Dropbox tab.
That was the one we were just in. We were just in the Dropbox tab. So, wait, Ilias, there it is. There it is. Yay! There we go. One more set of picks. Ilya, is this the top 10? Ilya has gone clap somewhere, hasn't he?
Yes.
All right, he had two. This is the top 10. All right, let's go through these and see what we have. Oh, wait a minute. No, this is not the top 10. Let's try that again. Yeah, that's the hazard of not having looked at these. All right, that looks like a top 10 something. We'll go right through these quickly. All right, set up for the college fair. Who's here for the college fair? Excellent. We had 800 high school students register for this. And let's start showing you what 800 high school students looks like. That's not them either. That's us getting ready. Here they are coming off their school buses, storming the castle, attacking something. Wow, they look ready to cause damage. Calhoun. There are so many buses lined up out there. It was unbelievable. Did any of you come to the college fair here when you were in high school? I know I've talked to some people. Oh, that's right. So, yay, students learning from Dr. Franklin at KSU on game dev. Well, they were excited to be here. I see. Let's see. One guy's flashing this one guy's flashing this one, and one guy's giving us this signal. Yeah, a lot of different groups. Wow, that room got crowded. I think I avoided it when we got that crowded. Yeah, lots of school buses. Oh wow, did some of the high schools have their own gang colors on? Excellent. Bowden and red. That's dangerous. All right. Yeah, DreamHack was on site. Scad was okay. And then we started our events. Anyone get a little tired at some point during the weekend? Red Bull or not? That was you. And there's the Red Bull to the side.
Like right next to the Red Bull.
When the Red Bull stops working, it just has to happen. Yeah, a lot of great times in the indie cluster. A lot of good people out there. Oh, wait a minute. And that's the last one. Wait, zoom in. All right. So quick retrospective on the event. Everyone went out to the parties. Why isn't that close? There we go. Everyone went to the parties at some point. Everyone networked. Everyone met somebody new.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone ready to go out of here and start working on games as soon as you're gone? Woo! Yeah. All right. All right. All right. So let's get on into the meat of the stuff. The moment everyone's been waiting for. Joe, puzzling him man himself, Cassava, to give us the most important news.
Come on. I'm gonna call everybody up and then tell you what you guys won. So let's get everybody up here.
All the indie clusters. Is that what you want, Joe?
No, not all the indie
Aw.
clusters. Okay. We'd like the folks from Sinker. Woo!
Yay, Sinker.
From
Everybody work on Sinker. Get up here.
Undead Mariachi.
Yay! Upside down birds.
Looking for Heels. Parallel 3. And Polyroll. Okay, before I give the actual awards and tell the awards and people taking pictures and stuff. Yeah. I want to say that one thing that really hit me interestingly this year is adding all the. Somebody making fun of me?
Never.
Oh God. Is it my voice? Okay. So in the judging is that it's amazing how every one of the games had a few people going, those are fun. That's the funnest game. And that amazed me because none of them are fun, but that it's different strokes for different folks. I mean, your game is niche right out of the, or niche or whatever, right out of the box, and that's what it was amazing to me. So anyways, it was a tough call this year, but we're going to start with the top two and go down from there. And it's not go down, but the top two are going to get a trophy. And we're going to start with best in show because it's horrible to do it the other way. So we're not going to make anybody wait. And Parallel 3, best in show. Ron? Oh, and before we present this, we do have to mention that these awards are, in fact, honor of a person who's still definitely well alive and in Alaska, wanted to be here, Chip Silv-E, who started these awards with me a few years ago. This is the Silv-E or the Silv-E Award. So, and is this our first year with a real trophy? Pardon? This is our first year with a real trophy?
First year of the real trophy.
Yeah. So make sure you get good pictures of this when you go over there and so forth. And we're gonna move right on to The audience choice, which was Undead Mariachi.
Woo! That was also the hotel staff's favorite.
So again, fun was such a mixed bag this year. I substituted the category and created a new one. And this is a very deserving one, and it's fitting. I created a Developer's Choice Award, and it was mainly picked by other members of the cluster and a few of the judges. Let's put it that way. And the Developer's Choice goes to Looking for Heels.
Woo!
No trophy, but you know.
We might shoot you later.
Best design was last year's audience choice and was so close this year for a second in a row. But you got best design, Mr. Waller, for Sinker. Woo! And that leaves best production, and they should know who they are. Where are they? Oh, there you are. Polyroll. Great. Woo! Best production, really nice. You want them to even say hi, say who they are?
Sure, everyone plug your game one more time.
One more time. One from each, but you can shout out.
Yeah, no worries. I'm Sterling Levine. I'm the game dev lead for Parallel, and please visit parallelthegame.com and sign up for our alpha.
I'm Derek Mills. I'm the programmer on the project.
I am Chase Levine. I would like to thank Red Bull.
Ah.
And I would like to make Parallel 3 one day, but it's Parallel for now.
I'm Claire Oliphant. I'm the game artist.
I am Justin Craig. I'm the developer of Polyroll, available on Steam in February.
Buy his game.
I'm Kevin Dressel. I helped programming on Polyroll. By Polyroll.
And Kevin, actually, I wanted to include him. He was my favorite game. He's the game I'm going to play, which was something. Tell me the name. Zap Blaster, which I immediately asked him, is this influenced by Duke Nukem? And I'm old. So he said, yeah, none of the young kids know that shit.
And you was
Oh, sure, I don't care.
That puzzle guy, yeah.
I'm Robert Waller. I showed you guys what I called Sinker Portals this con, but I've changed the name. It's now Sinker 2. It's really inventive. But buy my game, Sinker 1. It's out now. It's on Steam. It's only $1. It's only $1. It's also on mobile. And thank you so much for the award. It's really gratifying. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Luis Cavanillas. I'm the game artist for Upside Down Bird and worked on Mariachi Undead. Second time showing it to everybody.
I'm a software developer for Mariachi Undead, and if you guys want to follow the development of it on our website, upsidedownbird.com, you can join our Discord for it. And thanks everybody for playing it.
I'm Jason Hillhouse, programmer for Looking for Heels. It's really on our second month of development, so look forward to all the social media very soon. We'll have to post it on the GDC newsletter, or GGDA newsletter.
I'm Stu Phelps. I'm an artist, and I'm not a fraud now. So.
And I do want to point out, so I think last year we still gave out monetary awards to everybody, but the feedback I got was the awards were more important than the actual money part of it. But the top two people, the audience choice and the best in show, do get a monetary award that you can just see Andrew about.
Yes, after the town hall.
And we use the rest of that money to do things like provide the taco truck and give away the. And don't put clutter on it next year, really. Seriously, the clutter freaking tickets and stuff. So, but anyways.
That way people saved them and didn't spend them, and I got to keep the money.
We're just going to do smiley faces.
You all
and
spent your
emojis.
food truck tickets. Good God, did you
Anyways,
spend
I thought it was an awesome cluster. One last round of applause for this man who puts it all
Siege
together.
Tower.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. So with that, I want to give a shout out to our continued sponsors, the GGDA and Andrew, obviously. So can we give a round of applause for them? Awesome. I appreciate it. Always appreciate it. And of course, Tripwire. Tripwire has also been one of our continued sponsors. So there we go. Okay. And again, even though not everyone was able to win an award and everything like that, we had a really a great lineup this year. People coming from out of state. We had a lot of students apply and everything like that. And it's just really been a rewarding experience getting to work with all these guys and women every year and everything like that. It's just great seeing people do what they love, and I love being able to help be a part of that process. And I appreciate everyone's help with that, and just rooting us, cheering us on, and everything like that. Siege has always been our home, so we love coming here. Appreciate it, guys.
Put it in there. All right, thank you all. And I'd like to point out something. Oh, sit down. Jeez, go get me a Rockstar or a Red Bull if you need to. Just like to point out that when we started Siege, the first time we did Siege back in 2008, I think the number of studios you saw here was the number of studios in Georgia. And I'd like to point out that some of these studios are the same size as some of those, like Tripwire at that point, I think was 4 to 8 people maybe. So this is how every other studio here started. So we just completed our last economic impact report. Game industry is now having a $750 million economic impact on Georgia, and we have about 150 studios in the state. You may have seen my list on the table out by registration. If your studio is not on it, please email info@ggda.org so we can add you to the list. All right, we've got some of our leaders here for Siege on the table with me, up on the table with me, on the stage with me, and would like to start on our far right down there at the end and have everyone introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm William. I do Reg.
Hey, I'm Abby. I'm one of the organizers. I do stuff and content.
I'm Redbeard. I'm the Expo Hall coordinator.
And you can pull the mic toward you.
Oh yeah. Makes it a lot easier.
Not enough Red Bull.
My name is Jacob, and I am the volunteer coordinator, part 2.
I'm Daniel. I'm one of the volunteer coordinators for the website. So if you've used that to volunteer, then you've
He wrote it.
You've used what I've worked on.
You played his game. And I'm Andrew Greenberg. I'm conference director. So the main focus of today is hearing from you, but we do have some people we want to recognize first before we do that. I want to recognize the rest of our leadership team, and some of them I would like to call out personally to come up so I can thank them personally. And, well, let's start by thanking Abby Jocelyn all the way down, who is our associate conference director, who put together the content, all those sessions you went and saw. She's the one who put that all together. So thank you very much. Rob and Lynn Hassett. Rob, Lynn, are you still here? So Rob Hassett and Lynn Hassett organized our investment conference, and I really appreciate having Rob stick around and speak because he is our lawyer in case we get in trouble.
Yeah.
So it's great to have your lawyer on site. I would also like to thank our Reg lead, who has been doing this since Siege started. William Alonzo put together a great team, does a great job every freaking year.
It's really the Reg team. It's not me.
And Redbeard already introduced himself. Not only did he organize Expo Hall, but he organized pretty much the college fair and the career fair, and he had the beard. So, thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
And Jake Corley and Coral.
It's Coral.
Yeah, sorry, I keep
It's
saying Corley.
weird.
Coral
It's
and
weird.
Daniel Korczynski. No, I can't say it. Kinjerski did a great job organizing the volunteers. I know there were some technical hiccups, but there's a lot of you to deal with. So I always appreciate you all's help a great deal. And this year we had a couple of other people help them out. We've had one volunteer, David Gamez, who's been a big part of this event all along. And this year he became one of our volunteer coordinators. And thank you very much, David, for all your help. And also bringing in 2 of our best new volunteers who rocked it on the Red Bulls. For those of you who aren't here and aren't seeing this on live stream, we did the live streams. They're incredible, but we're also recording even this session. So we're going to be taking note of what you all say. And the reason we can do that is because of Matt Franklin and Most Uniquest, which is also Pauline Liu. Big round of applause for all of the content you see on our GGDA site is from them. And remember, our Patreon is going to make sure they have better tools so we can even do this more effectively. Is Valerie still here, or did she go home? One of our graphic designers was in a bad car wreck right before Siege. And I don't think she is here. But thank you, Valerie, so I can say it into the recording. Yeah.
And she still showed up.
And so a number of other key components of all of this. We have, I talked about, whoops, let me make sure I got everyone in the right place. We have a speaker liaison. We had, how many speakers do we have, Wes? Any idea? 78 people came out to speak at Siege. An amazing record. We have 2 people coordinating it. Gretzel could not be here, unfortunately, but Wes was here on site running them around. And when speakers disappeared, jumping on the panels himself. So thank you, Wes. Snapping some of those pictures you saw was Ilya Kovacsky, who's been working with us forever. Ilya, where are you so I can thank you? Hey, and still standing. Amazingly. Yeah, we got a lot of praise this year. Ilya used to be our webmaster. He handed it over to Garrett, though I think Ilya might be coming back in that role. But Garrett Nance not only did that spiffy-looking website you all saw, but also the Siege logo. Garrett, you still here? Okay, I guess he went on home. Thank you, Garrett, for all your help. Talking about live streaming again, Brian and Regina Miller are our live stream station managers. So if you've been booted from our site from being trolls, it's from them. But more importantly, they keep the content coming. So tune in every Tuesday to see what Brian's up to next. Thank you, Regina, and Brian, too.
Thank you.
Thank you, AV, for making us. Yep, thank you, AV. Joe already thanked Ron Jones for the Indie Cluster, but the Indie Cluster rocks it, so I get to thank Ron as well. Ron, where are you at? Thank you very much, sir. Jesse Jacobson organized not only a lot of our sessions, but more importantly, the portfolio review. How many got your portfolio reviewed?
Oh,
That was
yeah.
thanks to Jesse. Jesse, where you at? He ran. Oh, there we go. Hey! All right. There is a certain Joe here who's been doing a whole bunch of different things and is now basically a part of the team, from ranting to prizing to running around. Yay! Puzzles by Joe Casanova!
4 more years. I will stay unofficial. Okay? It allows me to do shit I can't
No,
do
Joe,
that I'd have
it's
to
way
clear
too
with
late.
us.
You've been assimilated. Deal with it.
Nope. I will never go to the Borg.
Too late. You are.
I'd mentioned Wes and our Reg team. Our Reg team does a rocking good job, but they've also turned into our graphic design team to a great degree. So Allison Phillips and Lynn Packer together put together basically the T-shirts, the room signs, the badges, pretty much everything. We're working with Valerie, the cover, and everything else. So thank you very much. And Justin, thank you for just rocking. And Justin's still at Reg. And thank you to Julie. We'll get you on graphic design too. We have a security team that keeps you from dying. And they succeeded this year, apparently, somehow, despite your best efforts to thwart them Saturday night. You're still alive. Is CJ in the room?
He's in the back of the house.
Get back, get up here. You just want to do the long rock star walk. Come on. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. So CJ and his security team are all volunteers as well, a lot of EMTs. Make sure you don't die. And they didn't even have to beat up a Little League team this year. So we appreciate all your efforts.
True story.
Saved one for last because it involves not only his work here, running the GGA booth and helping out all over the place, but also his constant role as GGDA Atlanta co-president. Paul, where are you at?
Woo!
Paul Bartlett. So Paul is, for about a day or two, no longer co-president. He is now sole president. Ryan Mendez, who was the other co-president, has had to step down due to just too many work demands. So we are now actively seeking another Atlanta co-president. So if you know someone would be good in that role, helping us set up events, helping run the events, especially the monthly meetings and more, have them reach out to Paul and talk to Paul about getting more involved. You can also email us at info@ggda.org. So if you know anyone, or it might be yourself, let us know. All right, there are a ton of volunteers who really make this happen. You see some of them in the room. A lot of volunteers I should have called up and didn't just because we do have only so much time. Thank you to all the volunteers. Stand up for 1 minute. All volunteers stand up. Woo! That includes you Reg people.
You guys rock.
All right. All right, you can sit down now. So I got 1 or 2 ribbons on my badge. I usually add one every year, but there's one ribbon I do not have on my badge and will never earn. Someone want to hold up what that is?
I don't have it.
He doesn't have it. This is the rock star badge. This is for our volunteers who absolutely rock it this year. And that is left to the volunteer coordinators and other coordinators to decide who it should be. So going down to the right, Daniel, who do we have as a rock star?
Brian Pruitt.
Right, all right. Non-stop at Reg from day one, everywhere else, and even asking the best question in the esports session. Yay! Excellent. Who else we have?
I have 2. We have Janet Games, and we have Sade Wilson.
Yay! Non-stop working it. Non-stop. And if you got Red Bull, 50% of the effort was out of them getting it to you.
Cases were full.
And Leif. I don't know your last name.
Lake! Woo! Anonymous Lake. Say your last name in that.
Hetland.
There you go.
Can you spell that?
All right.
Yes, sir.
And I guess that also included our Reg rock star then. Did he do double duty for us as Reg rock star as well?
Yeah, I would have said Ryan.
All right. So Ryan got double rock starness.
Woo!
All right. So before we open the floor for comments on yes. Yep. Oh, you had yours. Give your rock star.
Hi, Matt, AB lead. I was asked to nominate someone from my team. My co-lead and I banged our heads together for about 5 minutes and said we can't. They were all too good. So AB guys, could you kind of stand up where everybody can see you?
So for those of you who were at our Visage evaluation last night, you notice we had to have the credits come up. So with the credits, look at that at events too. We have a page of all the folks involved. These are people who make this happen. All wonderful people. So always check that out. All right. Anything else from anyone else up on the dais? Dais?
I think it's Deus.
Deus Ex. Okay, it's a War Inspector game now. All right. Anyone else up here from Deus Ex wants to say anything before we open up the comments? All right. So this is the point when we want to open the floor. Oh. This is the point when we want to open the floor to any comments about anything GGDA or Siege related. Please do come up here and speak it because we want to record this for future reference and evaluation. If you have any specific praises, we love to hear that. If you have any specific critiques, we also want to hear that from anyone but Joe. Oh, dang, too late.
I already breaking rules.
No. So I want this on tape. Lisa. is in some way directly responsible for that awesome brunch breakfast improvement to the way we used to do it. We used to have little sausage things that went out in that hallway up there. And 2 years ago, I was so ashamed of that. I ended up buying her lunch and talking about the. She actually asked me, was there a place for speakers to go to get something better? Okay. Anyways, that indirectly led, because Andrew does listen, to this awesome breakfast today. That's all. I want it on tape, and I believe I pronounced her name correctly.
All right, yay, Joe. And any other feedback about that? Even the food, the environment, the career fair, expo hall. We should move the GGDA booth further back and away from Indie Cluster. We should aim Nerf weapons at the DreamHack team. What do we got to do?
Love the new logo.
All right, Garrett
Yeah.
Nance.
Hey.
Hey.
This was my first year here.
Yay.
Woo! I've actually never been exposed to anything like this ever. So this was awesome meeting you guys. Awesome. The food was good. The games were fun. So thank you.
Yay.
I've turned the microphone. Look this way. I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, really, because we all came out of a dark place where we don't want to talk to anyone sometimes. We come from a place where we really want to keep to ourselves, and be honest, it's pretty scary talking to other people. And I really want to thank everyone who came out and shared themselves with each other, and even with me, because throughout every panel, there's not a single panel that I haven't taken notes and thought about everything everyone said. So I want to thank everyone for coming out.
Definitely about building a game development community in Georgia.
I want to thank Andrew for inviting us. My name is Miss Val. I am the operations manager for Versus Realm Esports Arena in North DeKalb Mall. And I'd heard about Siege, but I didn't know about Siege. And so I'm going to make it my point in my business to make sure that we are a part of this every year moving forward. And so the other thing I wanted to make sure that everyone knows is that we do host local tournaments and on Saturdays. And just like in the previous panel, what was said is that just take part in your local tournaments just as well so that you can add to your resume if you're working to become pro. We offer that. We offer a space for you to come out of the dark too and socialize with people. So I have flyers with our information on it. Just come see me. We'll be around. Kim in the back and Melvin. We're all here. And the little short boy, Marco Polo.
You mean
That's what
Brian
he goes
Miller.
by. He can help give information too. He's been in training also. But I wanted to thank you guys. Thank you so much for inviting us. Okay, and we definitely want to be a part of this. Okay.
I'm going to add in that if you have not yet been out to VS Realm, you really should go check it out. It's an awesome space, and they really do have some good events. So you should go.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Joe, not the Joe everyone knows. Different Joe.
Hello, other Joe.
I've been coming here since 2010, on and off. So this is probably my fifth or sixth siege, and I want to say you did a really great job this year. Last year, I wasn't really feeling the mix of the sessions as much. This year, there was stuff I wanted to do every time, which was awesome. I also really appreciate that it seems like, I don't know if it's just to my eyes or not, but it seems like I'm seeing more diversity in the attendance every year, which is great. And the food was better yesterday also. So I'm vegetarian, and there were a lot of options for me this time, which is great. Awesome. Thank you.
I do want to speak briefly to the diversity of our crowd. It is my anecdotal experience that Georgia is the most ethnically diverse game development community in the world. I've been around the world dealing with them, and nowhere do I see this mix. We still do have a lot of work to do on gender inclusivity and on some of the other areas, but at least we got one area we're beating everybody. All right, other comments, questions from anyone?
Actually, I'm going to weigh in with a comment on that since we're already on diversity. So for me, like we're looking at content, like we really actually do try really hard to have reasonably representative, diverse speakers. And you know what? Sometimes it's really hard to do that. It's like we look for like people who can speak to good topics, and it's not that there aren't people of color or women who aren't good speakers or who don't have the expertise. It's that we're not necessarily getting the applications or people coming forward to say, "Hey, we want to speak." So I would like to encourage all of you, if like think about public speaking. It's not nearly as awful as it sounds, and also occasionally speakers have been known to drink on stage. But you know, if that is something that's of interest, like let us know or come talk to me afterwards and say, hey, how can I even get started if I want to do some speaking? Because that's part of how you develop leadership skills. And that's something that we're pretty committed to is having good diversity because we see better games and better community coming out of that long term.
So I want to say that as far as career fair and job fair and all that stuff, it went pretty well. But if there's one thing I would like to be able to see is at some point be able to have professionals run a mock interview, not necessarily an interview to hire, but an interview to give people an idea of like, are you actually prepared to do what you are asking for a job for?
Good one. Yes. I actually tried to get one of the work source boards out here to do kind of help with folks trying to get their for career advisement and the like, and do those sorts of things. Couldn't get them done in short notice, but that's a great idea. This, by the way, is our Augusta. Are you still chapter president for Augusta, or did you step down?
You never officially said it.
Okay, Zach Smith, now the official chapter president for Augusta.
I think he just did.
It's official. We got it on tape.
All right, I've got a small list, but whoever suggested and whoever got James Portnow to speak here, thank you. That I thought it was a joke, honestly. So that was really cool. What were the other ones? Whoever, everyone who worked together to get the late night stream put together with Portnow, Eddie Webb, Michelle Menard, and Andrew Greenberg. AV team for staying late for that. The DreamHack guys for opening it up, and I think the hospital staff is, or not hospital. Sorry, my mom. My mom was in the hospital recently.
Like
the hotel staff for that as well. That was amazing. Which leads to a suggestion, which I think we might have mentioned last year, but game developers from the industry playing and breaking games with the students or any of us would be amazing. I know there's a lot of stuff that's always happening, but that would be super cool and was super cool. So thank everyone who was a part of that. And as a huge game jam extravaganza person, just a reminder to everyone that Global Game Jam is the next one, end of January. So keep a lookout for that. Put it on your calendars. Thanks.
Woo! And for game jams, if you're interested, Ludum Dare is a remote game jam that happens. I
think it already happened.
No, there's another one in like the 1st of December. Okay. Yeah, so every 4 months. Right. So I would highly recommend that one as well.
So the VR panels that we had were fantastic. The UX and mixed reality was awesome. I feel like now that VR is becoming more of a big thing, it would be awesome to have a panel of how to get into virtual reality as a game developer. Maybe like someone talk about, well, being a game developer, how do you enter virtual reality, whether it's through Unity or through Unreal or anything. And the Georgia Tech talkers were awesome. It would also be cool to hear people maybe outside of a college landscape if that's possible. Awesome. Thank you.
Good suggestions. And let's do a quick question. Let's quickly dig into VR. So last year, the year before, we had a number of VR sessions. We were getting less interest, and we dialed them back this year. Do people want to see a revived emphasis on VR sessions? More AR. All right. But I like the idea of entry level Unity VR because a lot of our local VR folks are using Unity now. So that's a really good suggestion. But yeah, I think AR might be the one taking more. All right, in the back, come up here so we can actually record your voice for everyone to hear for decades and decades to come. There we go, taking the victory lap.
I'd like to say one thing for VR. I'd like to see more VR panels just because Facebook, if anyone has seen the Oculus Connect, is coming out with the Oculus Quest, which I think is a superior marketing strategy for VR. Reduce the price, reduce the overhead, make it more accessible. That means more users in the future with a $399 device that doesn't require a computer, which I think would be more incentive for game developers because more people will have access to their game. So just like to see more of that. Virtual reality content creation is on the rise as well. I'd like to see if anyone has any solutions for how to stream virtual reality. I know a few of us have been kind of brainstorming that. We've got some solutions. LIV is out there, but I would definitely like to see some more of that because I think some of the mechanics that have been coming out, like in Creed, Vox Machina, all those games are really intuitive, and I would like to see a little bit more on that.
Cool.
Thank you.
Love the suggestions, love the praise. We are also open to criticism, honestly, as long as it's all directed at Jake. No, I mean, seriously, we're open to any comments, criticisms, questions. We'll take any of it.
Hey, Andrew, does the Silv-E Awards have a website or anything?
Ooh, yeah, we should have a Silv-E Awards website.
Yeah, to promote it for future years.
It's a good idea. Thank you.
Hey, my name is Simon. It's not critiquing, just another suggestion. I come from the background of non-game development, but I want to get into it. I'm currently like 28. I come from another field, but I think I mean, quick question: who's here that's not already studying or in the gaming arena? You guys, and you guys are interested in getting into it, right? Okay, so is a niche of people that wanted to get into it. I've been trying to get into it, so I'm pretty informed at this point, but it was really hard getting the information, getting to understand what it is. So I think if maybe not for Siege, but maybe like for the I don't know GGDA or something, like making that breaking point easier, understanding what is game design, what it takes to get into it, would be
So the
very
entry level.
helpful.
All right. That's some good stuff. We do workshops on game dev tools and the like, and they're all online on the Georgia Game Devs channel. All right, who's subscribed to youtube.com/Georgia Game Devs? All right, let's get the rest of you on those too. There are a lot of workshops like, but yeah, having a session on what is it actually involved in breaking in, what are the basics of a game, making a game. That's all some pretty good stuff that we haven't touched on for a long time. Yeah. Click the bell for the notification so you hear these streams. All right. Any other comments from leadership? Any other comments, questions, critiques? Next GGA meeting, November 14th. Oh, we are trying to line up a location for our annual holiday party. The holiday party is in conjunction with the Unity game developer meetup, with the Joe game dev meetup, with the IGDA Atlanta chapter. So it usually draws out about 100 people. So we're looking for someone to host that this year. Sometimes high res. Well, we also need food sponsors. So the location sponsor we might now have. Now we need a food and drink sponsor. So ideas on that are also very welcome. And as long as we get Absolute as a sponsor, we're set. We need a ginger beer sponsor for those mules. Yeah. They were kicking us all around. All right. Gonna one more call out for. There we go. Thank you. Come on up.
Hello, I'm AJ Huey, artist. I didn't know anything about Siege until maybe literally right when it started. Um, uh, with Laser Bread over there, they just asked me to come out with them. working on their game. And I just want to say that this is something I'm looking to be part of going forward every single year if I can do it. It's absolutely great. Every session has something I can go to, either specifically related to me or just something I want to learn to increase my knowledge. And I just want to say this is a really great positive experience for me.
Right. Thank you. Welcome to Siege.
If I can make a criticism, please don't shoot me. Is there a way to be able to, I guess, more promote the Ask an Experts? Because at the end of the day, they're there to provide information, but no one seems to even know that they exist. And I find it kind of saddening to see watching these professionals just literally sit on their phones waiting for someone to come to them when we have no way to promote who they are or what they do, or even to even gather any small amount of interest in them.
Did you guys know that the asking experts were there as a general crowd?
How many? Raise your hand if you did not know that the Ask an Expert booth was a thing. Okay. Those are the folks who are hanging around late. Yeah. Yeah, that is part of the issue. We should have had them in the schedule. We didn't have them until late, unfortunately. But yes, no, that's a good call. Put them in the grid. Yep.
One small thing, including the secret like invite only things on the schedule created a little bit of an issue, because a lot of people were asking like, what is this, where can I get the invite, and it's hard to explain to people that if you don't know, you're not a part of it. So I think maybe taking them off and leaving them more secret.
Are we talking in the volunteer schedule?
No, on the schedule itself, there's the
academic roundtable.
Yeah, we had a lot of back and forth on this.
Yeah.
So in the past, we've had some years decent attendance at the academic roundtable, some years crap attendance. Last year they had really bad attendance. So usually we send out invites to everyone in the academic committee, about 50 to 100 people. And so this year, KSU sponsors it, specifically asked us to really get the word out. So I think we went a little overboard.
Maybe
doing that.
Include like a little blurb, because I did have someone that came to me with questions, and they were wondering if it was about gaming like as a learning tool or academics in the gaming field.
Great point.
So I think maybe either clarification or leaving it invite only.
Great point.
This guy.
One other thing.
I'm not going to appoint you head of another chapter.
That's fine. I don't need it. One other thing I did think about, people always ask what's different about Siege, and a lot of it really revolves around the tight knit community that's formed here. And as much as these guys are awesome, they set up the ability to create this community, but all of you out here is what actually makes the community. So thank you for everyone to actually being open and to actually trying to make that community and succeeding and having this great event that we've had for what 12 years 12 years now. Yeah, so that's an amazing thing. So thanks for everyone for that.
Woo. Yeah, all we do is create the structure for you all to fill it.
I know for me, I found out about Siege through my professor literally a week before it happened. And I was like, you know what? I'm someone who has never really thought about going into the game industry, mostly as a UX designer, which kind of doesn't exist in the game industry for the time being. So suddenly hearing about it and now having been here, I'm like, no, this kind of solidified the fact that I do want to work in this field. So if I was wondering if you could encourage more advertisement in the universities. I know that SCAD has a board. I know I used to go to Georgia State. Georgia State, we have billboards everywhere. We have something called OrgSync where it's like you can put advertisements, and because a lot of people who go into the gaming field don't necessarily work in game development, don't like major in game development. So if we could just advertise it to a wider range of people, mostly college students who are mostly with the people who are hiring, looking for new people, it'd be awesome.
Yeah, we're definitely interested in those other avenues you're talking about, so send me a list of those because I'm not aware of those particular ones. Okay. SCAD sometimes has got huge attendance, and other years none. It all depends on the professors who are pushing it or not. KSU obviously consistently has high attendance. GSU, we had better UGA turnout this year than before. University of West Georgia was more in the house this time around. AIA was down right now this year. I know we had a lot less AIA turnout than we have in the past, but yeah, those venues are great. If you know other places we should be promoting, that's great. And if you can be advocates in your school, that's always the best thing. It's always that personal touch that does the best. So thank you, and thank you for volunteering this year. Woo!
I just want to make you guys aware of one quick thing. We had a goal this year for AV. We introduced streaming, what, 2, 3, 4 years ago?
That long ago?
I can't remember. It's been
Let's say
been a
three.
while. It's increased and improved every year. This year the goal was to turn the stream on in the mornings or whenever we did it, and not turn them off at night.
And we were streaming on YouTube, Mixer, and Twitch all at the same time. So lots of options. Oh, and we are looking for more mods for the stream. So if you want a mod, reach out to Brian Miller. Where's Brian? Where'd that little guy go? There he is. Oh, great. We can't see back there. All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Other comments, questions, criticisms are definitely welcome.
Sure. If folks are actually looking to get involved with Siege in the future or GGDA over the course of the year, we can always use good ongoing volunteers too. It doesn't just have to be once a year. We can suck the life right out of you all the time.
Year round.
No, but seriously, if there are areas of interest for you professionally, like that's something that we can kind of like. If you're interested in marketing or web design or doing more graphics, like these are things that like we can always use help with. And hey, we'll help you network. And it's a lot of fun, and we do try to look after our volunteers too. So throwing that out there, come be part of us.
All right, last chance. Still open for it. Next event, November 14th. There we go.
I've been refraining from asking this question like every day. Okay.
It's David's fault.
Okay, because I don't really know much about this, like I said before. So, is this program was just for game designing? Because I've always wanted to be like a game tester, but then every time I tried, I clicked on an ad, then I'm like, oh, you have to go to this school, and I'm like, but I'm already in school, so I don't know how that works. Maybe I missed it while I was handing out the Red Bull, but
You also missed a QA session. Everything you need to know about game quality assurance. It was Friday night, I think.
I missed it.
Great lineup. QA is a critical part and a great way into the industry. So yeah, one of the things we should probably push more. And it is the Southern Interactive Entertainment and Games Expo. So we do try and focus on things other than games. We consider the skills that you're learning here applicable to a lot of different areas. What you learn for QA for games applies to QA for anything. What you learn in the live UI testing that Sarah ran, that's applicable so many different areas. There's very few things that are just applicable to games here. So definitely.
Sorry, I keep coming up. One more question. Is there any way to incorporate like tabletop or mini gaming here? I know there's a couple of really great companies that are local. There's Weird, not too far from here, and that's something that I'm really interested in. Is more analog game. So I'm not sure.
Space is kind of hard, but
Yeah,
at least
it is.
a couple boxes.
We
maybe.
reach out to them, and that's often they don't. We get very little response back. Glad to have Kevin Lansing in here recently. He's a great tabletop designer. Zane, you want to come up here and say something? No. All right, Zane is saying get with him and talk about building it up some more. I mean, obviously, I come out of tabletop, so glad to see more of that involved.
Real quick, talking about getting involved with the GGDA, don't forget our online presence. We've got the Facebook group. Is that the one we push?
Facebook group, we
Facebook.
promote more than the page.
Right. We also have Discord, Twitter, all the rest.
Again, we try and promote the things you can form community. A page doesn't do that. A group does. So.
I had so many kudos to give that I actually forgot to say something also. So not only was the content great, but also just operationally, I think this was the smoothest year I've seen. I don't know how it felt on the inside to y'all, but from the attendee perspective, it was excellent.
Glad to hear. Thank you. Yeah.
I think I love all the events you guys have made. This takes a lot to plan out, and there's still some things I probably don't even know about that you guys putting together. I was thinking more on the side that we do get presented a lot of stuff and we learn a lot, but what about stuff when, Like maybe we came in with teams and we said like a mini game jam and we had a competition at the end of the siege.
We try and avoid the actual game dev competition at Siege because then people don't leave their rooms. And this is about forming community, so we want you out mingling the whole time. On the other hand, one thing we do with the Global Game Jam is we do the Best in Georgia competition, where you don't win the award for doing a game at the jam. You win based on what you do over the next month. We've had talk about doing something later on to kind of get those teams back together and focusing on like a we've talked about having the Steam Jam where you spend a weekend promoting your games, getting them all up on Steam, and all the teams are promoting each other's and not just their own. Things like that. So if folks are interested in something like that, that's something we can also talk about.
Thank you.
Others, anything else? Yay! All right. The Reg team hears all. They've heard every complaint. We'll get some good ones now.
Nope. Just gonna say, if you're just gonna throw away your badge and your lanyard, you can. We're recycling them, so you can just place them in the box. You can keep your insert if you would like.
Yeah,
or you
please
can
keep
just,
your insert. Keep the souvenir. Especially if
Yeah.
it's got my game on it.
So thanks for that.
In a box?
We have one right here. We also have one set up at the Reg booth.
All right, yeah, all right. So I actually have yet to give the numbers, and that's usually the first thing I do. So one of the last things I'm going to do is give our actual registration numbers. So I got these from William. So we had 800 high school students register. I haven't actually totaled it up yet. Let me total it up while I'm doing this. So let's see here. We had 800 high school students registered for the college fair. We had, how many people came out to the Unity meetup? Did anyone count that? $40? We'll say 40. We had 18, 28. We had about 28 people for the workshops on Thursday. We had 100 people for the investment conference. And then we had 660 registered for the main conference, with 483 badges actually picked up, which gives us a grand total of 1283, 1383, 1423, 1443, 1,451 attendees over the course of the weekend. Our numbers are definitely up because of the college fair. Actually, I hate to say it, but our main conference numbers are a little down from last year. But still, overall, great numbers. So we got to work on getting those main conference numbers back up. All right, any other last comments or questions? But 1451 is our overall Siege attendance for this year. All right, anybody else? There we go. Zane's got something, don't you? Ah. All right. Here we go, folks. Going once. Going twice.
Wait, we gotta take her.
Said to remind you about the drink hack winners.
Yeah. The winners of the Brawlhalla competition still here? All right, I'll reach out to them. Got to get them the prizes. Hello. And the winner of all the competition.
Woo.
Sage. Yeah. You want to come up here? Where'd you get a new dog? You did? What's this?
Hey, that's what my class for school.
Oh, okay. I thought I was giving away another prize. All right. All right. Going once. Comments going once. Comments going twice. Go home or tear apart this hotel. We got to break this place down. Volunteers, fire your weapons.